The minority leadership of the House of Representatives has led to a brawl in the nation's law chambers, and also the coalition of northern groups threatened southern state governors to account, or rather on account of the Ruga settlement. It's scary, huh? Well, this is Plus Politics, and I am Maryann Okon. There was a rowdy session in the House of Representatives following Gbajabiamila's decision to announce Elumelu as minority leader. Now, the People's Democratic Party PDP stated that they had previously sent a letter to the House nominating Kingsley Chinda as a minority leader on Wednesday, July 3. Now, it was reported, however, that the Speaker of the House ignored the party's nominee and instead announced Elumelu, also of the PDP, as the minority leader. What was the reason for this? Well, I cannot answer that question, but we will try to see if we can speculate. I have joining me in the studio Paul Oshunkeye. He is a good governance advocate. It's good to have you join us, Paul.
Thank you very much.
And of course, we have the very lovely Obi Ajegbo. She's a lawyer. Thank you very much for joining us.
Pleased to be here.
So I'm going to start with you, Obi. I'm just wondering, what could have been the reason? Because these positions are party initiated, whether we like it or not. Of course, Gbajabiamila was the party's choice. And when it comes to the minority leadership, obviously, that goes to the major opposition, which is the PDP. Why would the Speaker be imposing his own person on a party which he does not even belong to?
We'll have to go to the rules of the House. What does the rules say about it? Does the rules say, but traditionally, it has always been the minority party that puts in a minority leader. So this will put into question what the rule says, and does the Speaker have a right, or is he exceeding his boundary?
So I'm still just wondering, if the party is saying, factually, we sent a letter on Wednesday, July 3, clearly stating that this is who we want, could there also be a vested interest in Elumelu, hence the deviation from what the PDP had actually initially wanted? Could he also be somebody who would pander towards the APC? Because it's a game of interest.
Yes, it's a game of interest. And Femi Gbaja, sorry, I can't, it's a mouthful, his surname. Femi Gbaja wants to have a peaceful time. He doesn't want any rowdiness. He doesn't want any opposition.
But what's a democracy if we don't have a little drama here and there and disagreement?
Everybody is trying to feather their nest. PDP feels that Elumelu will be pandering to the whims and caprices of APC, and so they're against it. But PDP knows what to do when they want Elumelu out.
Interesting. Where do you stand on this drama? Because there was almost a grab of the mace, and it was a real serious row. And as we speak, I hear that as of today, Honorable Chinda, who I know in person, is from Rivers, he represents the Query constituency, came and sat on the seat for the minority leader, ignoring Gbajabiamila, because he knows that he is his party's choice person. But this means that there's going to be a lot of drama on the house, on the floor of the House.
Okay, so I am very curious for the Speaker's reason for initiating this brouhaha. I'm waiting for the drama to play out. Of course, the PDP can enforce their will. And see if he does have the vote, if he does have the courage of the party, he can keep sitting and then functioning as the minority leader, which means there'll be a split minority leadership. One person will be parading as a minority leader on the basis of the foisting by the APC Speaker, and one person will have the backing of his party and the minority people. So I'm just wondering, why start off on this note?
Exactly. I was about to say that it's a bit too early for the drama. I mean, they barely just got back to, sitting. But does this not also get in the way of businesses of the day, being that we have loads of them to get to? Will this not be some sort of a barricade or blockade, for want of a better word? In
law, it says he that comes to equity must come with clean hands. Femi has not come with clean hands. So
how do you mean? That could be misinterpreted in many ways.
No, let me put it down in the context. What it means is that you know there's a tradition.
Yeah.
Even if it is not written down in your rules, there's a tradition. Majority gets the speaker, minority takes the minority leader and settles themselves. So what business of yours is it to now impose a minority leader on people that had already sent you a letter? That's what I'm saying. He that comes to equity comes with clean hands. On this matter, I don't know what Femi's Femi's game is, but it's going to unsettle the thing, and eventually Chinda will get his way.
I'm just wondering, could Mr. Gbajabiamila also be playing to his party's initial wishes, saying that they were going to get all that they wanted, including...
What is happening here is the hand of Esau and the voice of...
Voice of Jacob.
Voice of Jacob. The hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. Or is it the voice of Jacob? No, it's the voice of Jacob. The hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. He's playing, somebody else is setting out the pace, and he's obviously playing it out. But you see, things like this always backfire, especially when you have an aggrieved PDP who feels that they should be in charge, and now they are turned into the minors, and you cannot get away with it. PDP knows what to do.
Okay, so looking at the business that the House of Representatives most importantly has, let's not forget that the budget is also still there. We have the issue of Ruga, we have insecurity, we have too many things to deal with, and one would wonder what would be the first order of the day instead of this infighting. I'm just wondering, how long do you see this playing out for? Do you see this playing out for a longer time, or it's something that they would sweep under the carpet sometime soon? Okay, so bearing in mind the people who are members of this 9th Assembly. Yeah,
so it depends on what stands to be gained from this move that was made. So a lot is not clear yet. We don't know what they're playing at. But like I say about Nigerian politics, when one thing happens, there are 10 things that are going on underground. So, so when those things come to light, we'll see a bit of what should be happening. But I admonish them to go back to their major duties, oversight, working for the benefit of your constituencies, and stop playing petty politics.
For the beginning of a government or a leadership that you have fought for a very long time, talking about the speaker now, Femi Gbajabiamila, why do this as your first act of office? Shouldn't you be looking for a way forward to at least your first day in office or your first act to be something positive, something that we could remember for posterity's sake?
Let's say you have a major thing you want to pass through the House. It's good for you to have everybody on the same page with you. But if you have a recalcitrant minority leader who will cause trouble at any opportunity, recalcitrant in quote, who will cause trouble at any opportunity, it is not in your best interest to have such a person as minority leader. So you will try to coax, you try to use promises, you try to do trade and barter to see that your person stays in place. I think that's what's happening. Like he said, God knows the meetings they're having, God knows the cards they're shuffling. Nobody knows. So
with this act, do you think that Femi Gbajabiamila is somewhat, creating enemies already, and this might not serve him, and, it might not be in the best interest of his leadership?
So, yeah, of course. I don't see how his leadership is going to play out over 4 years if he starts on a troubling note. It's also interesting to point out that he also suffered something like this 4 years ago when a fast move was made on him, and then somebody else came up to head the house. So,
but that wasn't from his party, because his party was also a bit slow. So somebody played a fast one on his party.
Yakubu Dogara at the time was an APC member. So it was him fighting, in quotes, that led to him being sidelined. And then he lost out on being speaker. So I don't see why emotionally the connection doesn't make to him, he doesn't connect with that to see that you shouldn't cheat somebody.
Or maybe he's trying to give tit for tat,
Okay, so
maybe that.
Tit for tat so early in the tenure.
It's politics.
So
that would be petty.
But there are no politicians don't have permanent enemies. It's just permanent interest.
Well, one would wonder what this interest will be at this time, but then
It will unfold.
it will unfold in no time. Well, there's more to come on Plus Politics today. The most talked about issue today is the video that emerged, of course, threatening the governors of southern states and giving them an ultimatum of sorts on the Ruga issue. Well, we'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.